Of course, is Miles Davey coming out for his 200th game, carrying his, I think that's his latest daughter. Yes, it is. There you go. Congratulations to Miles. Yeah, I wouldn't take it any further than that, Miles. There's young Matt Shepherd, one of the senior players nowadays. Very young side, Synostol, with the possible exception of 2 or 3 players. And if you listen carefully, and there's of course referee Fergus Connolly, and from his whistle we will have a minute silence. We're ready for the off. With a wind in the first half, and there is Archie Bees to start the season for Synostol and Petherton.
Up at the bar with Joe, go up and see Joe to pay your non-playing membership.
Referee Fergus Connolly just about to start the game. I make it about 1 minute after 3. Taken cleanly by Dan Morgan. North Petherton showing intent there, but early mistake. They retain the ball, and there's Sam Williams. You can see the referee's indicating Brandon Hack got over the ball really quickly, and I think it was probably Sam Williams who didn't release the ball. Yeah, he said holding on there. Matt Shepherd's going to kick for the corner. There's another sign of Synostol intent. They're not taking the points, and it's a bit complicated, but the wind's sort of swirling around. You can see on the far side it looks like it's going from right to left. But if you have to move it over, you'd find it the other way around. So Mitch Needham for North Petherton to restart after just 4 minutes. Synostol taking an early lead. This cab boy using that trusty right boot gets the ball probably as far as halfway. Sam Williams to throw in for Petherton. Goes to the middle, but the ball was knocked backwards, I think. Unable to take it cleanly was Joe Warbank. But Petherton had retained it, although it's gone free there. Looks like Andy Inch is after it, but it may have been knocked on. The referee's coming back for the knock on in the line out, I think. So this will be the first scrummage of the game, and this is probably an area which is going to be well contested. That's North Petherton's big front row. Dan Morgan, Sam Williams and Capitani Felipe. Against Dan Jobe, Miles Davey and Brandon Hack for Synostol. And CJ Boyce to put the ball in.
Yeah, pound deposit. If you got
That's a serious nudge there from North Petherton, and Synostol not only knock on, but they go backwards at a rate. They'll have to do something about that. The referee kindly indicating knock on by Synostol at the base there. I think it might have been Carl Marriott, and there'll be another scrum to North Petherton. They'll be hoping for a repeat of that. Synostol will be hoping for no repeat of that. There's Ben Plummer, one of the vice captains this year, in the foreground. That's a slightly better effort. And that's one of the Taylor boys, I think. Well, no, it's not. They're in number 12. Mitch Needham kicks for touch. Made good ground there. Going the other way. Taken by Synostol, and there's Cam Taylor with his hands on the ball. He gets support from Andy Inch. Seago goes high. So Sam Williams throws, taken cleanly there by James Taylor. Mitch Needham pops a short ball to Jack Rees coming on the cut there, but the ball went forward. So there'll be another scrummage. There's Rob Jeffs wearing 18. Long time serving the club. Hasn't played for some time, but they're simply on merit. Worked very hard to get back into it. And he'll be there and thereabouts for the whole game. Really good shove there by Petherton. Pushes Synostol off the ball, allows number 8 to pick up and have a gallop. There's Needham looking for his centre, but once again, a bit unfortunate there. That was Michael Stevens, I beg your pardon. And once again, right on the spot, Fergus Conley says that went forward. So there'll be a scrum to Synostol just outside their own 22. There's that considerable front row. Morgan, Williams and Felipe. Two of them sound Welsh. That's another really big push. Synostol struggling there. You see that? You can see the referee says, no, you're way offside there. That's Connor Perkins came through from an offside position. And we can tell from his demeanour he was a Humi ref. Gives Synostol a chance to relieve the pressure. There's Miles. Taking on the role as forwards coach this year, assistant forwards coach, working of course with Carl Marriott. And Rob Jeffs takes it at the back. Quick hands in the middle from Ben Plummer, puts Matt Shepherd half through a gap, but it's closed quickly. I think it's fair to say even at this stage Synostol going to be looking to run the ball at every opportunity, which they do, and that's certainly the game. And that's Max Bullen's had a chance, chips ahead. I think the ball's rolled into touch. There'll be a line out on the far side. Once again, my apologies if there's if the picture's a little bit jittery. It's to do with bandwidth and the telephone signal. There's not much more I can do, I'm afraid. Good take there by Petherton, stolen Synostol's line out. And there's Dan Morgan comes out with the ball. Allows Adam Conyberg to clear. There's Max Bullen, another one struggled with injury last season. Love to see him back. Strangely enough, that missed Mark Ryan's hand, outstretched hands, and I think it probably might have been just knocked forward. Yes, it is. So, scrum to Petherton. About 12 minutes into the first half, score is 7-0 to Austell. I think Cam Taylor scored, not certain. It was either him or Mark Vine. It was at the bottom of a driving maul. Once again, Petherton dominate the scrummage. It gives Damien Griffin a chance to have a run, but he's gobbled up by Matt Shepherd in defence there. Quick ball taken, too quick, wrong place, says the ref. Come back, please. Difficult wind, and even for someone as experienced as Miles, hitting the target every time is difficult, but that time he managed to get Ryan easily, and so to once again get them all moving forward. It's an area they continue to exploit, and you can see Brandon Hacks at the back there, ball under his arm, and CJ Boyce puts his hands in the ball, and I think the referee said move it. CJ has a quick look. He's close, but he's not close enough. Ball retained there. It's with Cam Taylor. A little hop, skip and a jump and brings the ball back. That's Matt Shepherd. Feeds Archie Bees, but he's hit very hard in the centre. Shepherd supports, still got the ball. Referee says play on. It looks like Petherton have turned it over. Yes, they have. And there's Capitani Felipe wearing 2 but playing prop today. That's ambitious from Petherton, right on their own line. And Brandon Hack takes the ball, goes burrowing in, doesn't quite get there, but Archie Bees just gets upended as he takes the ball. The referee said no, hold on guys. I wonder if he wants to talk to somebody there. This could possibly be foul play. He's calling Matt Shepherd and Mark Vine over, and Mac Taylor. Probably just a case of referee Fergus Connolly laying the law down early on. Guys, I'm not going to take up that. Speak to your players, please.
It's available, that's up in the bar. If you want to go buy some tickets, it's £1 a go. Membership's also available in the bar. 50-50 draw will be drawn at half time. There's always a rush at half time, ladies and gents, so if you want to find a new bar, you've got Frosty's Rock and Roll, the outside bar. Saves you going up the stairs, saves you queuing. Go and get yourself some beverages in there. Plus there's some healthy food options, as always.
So there will be a scrum to Synostol right on the post, probably I'm guessing about 10 metres out, difficult to tell this far away. CJ Boyce put in, but every scrum so far North Petherton have had the advantage. So I think Synostol will be looking to get the ball in and out quickly. Yeah, indeed, Carl Marriott picks up, goes left to Matt Shepherd, who's got support in the form of Max Bullen, but it just goes over his head. Straight into touch. There'll be a line out on the far side. It's probably fair to say that at this stage in the season, 20 minutes in, there's going to be the odd mistake. Things they're not the well-oiled machine just yet. Well, that one certainly works. Davey to Vian once again, and Synostol get the ball, the more moving forward, with Cam Taylor at the back with the ball, supported by Dan Joe. There's Matt Shepherd again. Beats the first man, not the second. CJ Boy's looking for a quick ball, but it went forward. There's Dave Phillips in the background taking the pictures. That really is about as far away as you can be from where I am on the ground, and I can't get any closer than that, but that's not a bad picture. Put in, picked up once again by, he's wearing number 12, but I think he's playing flanker. Archie Bees goes down, he's supported by Danny Tyrrell. Rob Jeffs looks right, looks left, but the ball went forward. The other thing, of course, is yes, it's early season and players haven't played very much, but it's also very wet out there and windy, so there's going to be the odd mistake, which probably means that the team who shows the greatest control in this game and plays it tactically, they might have the advantage. The moment Synostol do, 7-0 up. Early try, I think, to Cam Taylor, converted by Matt Shepherd, but it could have been Mark Vian. As Adam Conybeare puts in, and once again, well, the ball comes back on Synostol's side, and Danny Tyrrell has a quick look. I can't see that. There's Carl Marriott, he's upended, keeps the ball. Ball didn't go anywhere, but Matt Shepherd has a clear look in. He dummies, and he slides in under the posts. Matt scored 2 tries against Petherton last season, 1 home, 1 away. And he's on the scoreboard again today. There he is. And I suspect he'll attempt to convert his own try. There he is, coming with the ball just behind Ben Plummer there. Nice to see there Josh Frost, centre for Petherton, just giving Matt a pat in the back saying, well played, boy. How good is that? Easy conversion for Matt. Moves the score on to Synostol 14, North Petherton 0, with about 20 minutes played.
Oh, here. Cider, please. Cider. What have we got there to eat, mate? Burger. Cheeseburger. Burger.
Looks like Mitch Needham's going to restart. He's looking to the far side, actually. Players lined up both sides of him, but taken by Matt Shepherd, who does the sensible thing, kicks for touch. But it's stopped by Jack Rees, who then takes his own ball and has a little rumble. But he went into touch there off Damien Griffin. In fact, it was knocked on before he went into touch, so there'll be a scrum to Synostol. Cam Taylor wearing 7, played outside today. Really nice to see him back after a serious injury last season. Yeah, as you can tell, he's been in the gym, he gets bigger every time you see him. Looks like Dean Richards in the back there. I don't think it is him though. wearing blue. CJ Boyce puts in. Quick pick up. Carl Marriott feeds Ben Plummer. But he stopped. Recycled, and Andy Inch couldn't hold on. That allows, I think it's Josh Frost to pick up. Really unlucky there. Yeah, very unlucky. Just the ball was at his feet and Michael Stevens couldn't pick it up. So they'll come back for the first knock on because the referee was playing advantage. I don't know how many there have been, but there seemed to be a lot of scrums in the first quarter of this game. I think as a consequence of knock-ons and forward passes. Of course it is. But that's because the conditions aren't brilliant. It's windy and wet, and of course it's early season. I think Synostol will be fairly happy with the lead so far, 14-0, with about 22-23 minutes gone. Once again, it's worth mentioning that all the boys you can see there, Danny Tyrrell, Matt Shepherd, Ben Plummer and CJ Boyce, every one of them came through the junior youth section in Synostol, and of the squad of the 18 today, 16 came through the youth section. It's only Dan Job and Carl Marriott who joined the club a little later on, and I think it's fair to say they're both committed saints. Yes, Dan? So referee played advantage for the knock on, so they'll bring him back for a scrum just inside North Petherton's half. There's Capitani Felipe playing tie head today. Has played hooker for the Navy against the Army, against the Navy, I beg your pardon. Well, that was stolen there by Miles Davey. Hooked against the head, gives CJ Boyce a chance of a run, but he tries to feed Matt Shepherd, who couldn't hold on, and the ball comes free. That's Michael Stevens, caught by Danny Tyrrell, who keeps the ball alive. You can see there he's saying no, not releasing, and quite rightly I think referee Fergus Conley says no back check lads, I warned you. It's fair enough. I think Mitch Needham's indicating he's going to go for the posts just to get Petherton on the board. Probably 24 metres out, slightly to the left of the post, fairly straightforward kick, but it's wet and it's windy. Needham kicks. Strike it beautifully. Petherton on the board with 26 minutes played. Moves the score on to Synostol 14, North Petherton 3. Archibald to restart. I think once again he's forward to the left and some to the right. Kicks long. Taken by Matt Taylor, who fed Jack Reese, who's hit the ball beautifully with his left foot, but only as far as Carl Marriott. Cav Boy has a quick look. Someone's got hold of his shirt, but he keeps going. And he keeps going still. Good support from Cam Taylor there. Matt Shepherd boxed it inside to CJ Boyce, but the ball went forward. Referee will bring them back. So also they've showed a willingness to run the ball at every opportunity, as indeed have North Petherton, but it's that final pass has let them down, both teams so far. Cannot count the number of knock-ons we've had, resulting in lots of scrummages. As you can see, is Synostol's second row, skipper Mark Vine, and Andy Inch, who is captain and vice-captain this season. Lovely to see the young lads doing so well and assuming responsibility, all completely on merit. That's another nice scrum from Petherton, who kept the ball, kept the scrummage very tight. Gives Needham a chance to have a little look, and he does, he shows and goes. Ben Plummer gets his hand in there, but the referee brings them back. I think he's indicating in at the side, driving in at the scrum, that's what he's saying. So there'll be a penalty to Petherton. And Jack Rees will have the chance to relieve some of the pressure on that little light patch where a helicopter landed earlier in the week and made a bit of a mess of the pitch. Sam Williams, long-time servant of Petherton, of course, the Oaks. Many years as skipper. Hits Connor Perkins beautifully right in the middle. Mitch Needham once again has a show and go. It's all a bit messy, but Petherton retained the ball. Needham decides to kick to the near touch line, and it beats Cav Boyer into touch. That will be a Synostol line out, although the referee is indicating, I think, offside against Austell, so there's a penalty in the middle. He's given the choice, and I think they've opted for the line out. There you are. Quite clear from Fergus Conley. That was Rob Jeff tackling off the ball. So penalty where the ball's kicked or where the ball's landed. And I think Mitch Needham will probably stick this in the corner and look to have a line out. He does. Sam Williams wearing 3 playing hooker, throws in. Stolen by Vine in the middle. You can see a bit of 50 cuffs going on there. Synostol get them all going forward with Cam Taylor. The FC now saying the ball's out, so they can come round and contest. Brandon Hack plays scrum half. Ben Plummer gets away. He's looking for support, he's looking for it both sides. He's got Danny Tyrrell one way and Matt Shepherd the other. Lovely tackle on Matt Shepherd, pops it back to Plummer. Danny Tyrrell has it, keeps it alive, and Archie Bees gets the final pass. No, as you can see, referee is saying number 10, the ball went forward, it's a scrum. So they're all congratulating each other, and it is no try. The referee was right there, he got it spot on. He's being questioned there by Capitani Felipe. Just wants to know what happened. I think he's just explaining. I think half of Tregorrick Park thought it was another try. First 2 Archie Bees for this season, but the final pass was forward. As you can see, the rain's coming back. Looks to me like it's coming from the clubhouse side. That's probably the west of this pitch, and moving across towards the east. Let's hope it doesn't get too heavy. So about 32 minutes gone. The score is still 14 points to 3 to Synostol, and I think at this point, with about 5 or 6 minutes go towards coming to half time, North Petherton will be reasonably pleased with their defensive effort. Bearing in mind last season they conceded 24 by this point. Ball comes to Cav Boyer, he's looking for support, tries to have a little run. He's tackled well there by left winger Michael Stevens. There's Ben Plummer. Moving the ball towards pressure there. The defensive line was up very quickly, giving Archiebees nowhere to go. And once again, another little knock on, this time by Joe Warbank. It's been a first half characterised, I think, by lots of mistakes, lots of scrummages, and I think a willingness on both teams to run the ball. And Synostol scored 2 early on to, I think, Cam Taylor, and shortly after, a lovely break through the middle by Matt Shepherd, and a penalty about 30 minutes from Mitch Needham. So the score remains 14-3 with about 7 minutes to half time. And Cornwall puts in and he feeds Needham again. Once again, a bit of confusion in the centre, but it's Needham rescues it. Has a lovely little chip over the top, and Michael Stevens got really close but was unable to take it. So it will be a line out to Synostol. About 5 metres outside their own 22. Miles Davey changes the balls. She's playing tennis. Taken once again by Vi, and that's been the favourite move so far in this game. And once again, Synostol get the rolling ball moving forward. Got a switch move there. Ben Plummer dummies, but he's taken. Sam Williams caught him. Archiebees gets man and ball, and I think he knocks it forward in the tackle. The referee's playing advantage to Petherton. There's Capitani Felipe, who I think may be of Samoan descent, really hard to tell. That's moving the ball very quickly by there, but the referee says, hold on.
There's a lovely twine of the islands around here. They don't like it up, Mr. Margaret. Lovely island.
You want chaps?
Yeah.
Certainly.
I've got your feathers. I've got your feathers on. Oh no, I haven't got me problem. Have you met no.
Slight delay as one of the North Petherton players, I think it could be Jay Kelly's number 6, is receiving some attention from the physio. Yeah, he seems okay, that's good. No, it's not, it's Sam Williams, number 3, who's played a prominent role so far. He's okay. Here's Danny Tyrrell playing on the wing today. Can play anywhere really. Scrum half I think is his favourite position, but he's certainly got some wheels, the young man, and he's a fabulous defender with it. He's been in red hot form pre-season as young Danny, and it's nice to see him starting, and let's hope he continues to have command a regular place. Connie Bear feeds Needham. We're looking again for the switch ball. This time it works well, but Jack Reese knocks on, goes as far as Carl Marriott. Archibald has a run up the far side, looking inside. He finds Max Bullen, who has a clear run to the line for Synostol's third try. Scored by Bullen, made by Pease, and conversion in front of the posts with about 3 minutes to the half. So Max Bullen adds 2 early tries from Cad Taylor and Matt Shepherd, and moves the score into 19 points to 3. Matt Shepherd has the extras to make it 21. So Synostol 21, North Petherton 3, with half time about 2, maybe 3 minutes away. Mitch Needham restarts, kicks it high, goes I think as far as that looks like Ben Plummer took it without knocking it on. And CJ Boyce Burrows. There's Mark Lyons. Little show. You know he's not going to pass it. Gab boys, so let's play down there. Hammers it down the far side, but only as far as Jack Reese, who he's got no room to move. But returns that with some interest. Lovely kick in. So the line out about 10-12 metres inside North Petherton's half. And so far, Miles Davey has gone to that man, taking it one-handed there. And Ben Plummer has a look himself, goes to ground. By him, well tackled by Mac Taylor. Carl Marriott says, "You can do it, so can I." I think he knew that they were offside. Oh no, the Saints players are offside in front of the kicker. As you can see, the rain is coming down, a bit heavier. Jack Reese kicks left-footed, almost as far as Synostol's 22. There's Danny Tour on the near side, really hasn't had much to do so far. Conditions. So Sam Williams throws, taken really nicely one-handed by Joe Wallbank there.
Get in there! Well on, Miles.
And James Taylor takes the ball, but he also gets Miles Davey with it. The referee says no, he was offside, and he marches them back for a back chat. Second time in this half. I think Skipper needs to have a word with one of his players. It's a bit needless, really. Jack Reese, left-footed, takes the play right down to Synostol's 5-metre line. There's the try line on the left. Probably the first attacking opportunity that close to the game that North Petherton have had in this half. They've certainly had a chance to run the ball, but this is the first time they've got that close. And it is, of course, their line out. That's Connor Perkins at the back there, wearing 5. And although he's wearing 12, I'm not sure who that is. Taken by number 6, who is Jake Ellis. And Petherton retain the ball. As Capitani Felipe has got his mitts on it, brings it back. And there's a good drive there, but I think by Dan Job. Yeah, it was Dan Job. The ball went to ground, Petherton retain it. That's Felipe again, very well making the hard ground. There he is. He's a difficult man to stop, as Carl Marriott will testify. That's number 8, James Taylor. Tackled by Matt Shepherd. And you can hear referee calling offside in the middle, and the ball went forward. No, he wasn't offside, he's just indicating that it's not forward. So there'll be a scrummage just before half time. 40 minutes on my clock, but that doesn't matter. There he is, referee Fergus Connolly. CJ Boyce put in. He's given that for going to ground. He's indicating, I don't know which side, he's looking at Brandon Hack on the tight head up against Dan Morgan there. That means Petherton have a penalty right in front of the sticks just before half time, and Mitch Eden decides we'll take the points. He's not going to miss this, is he?
Oh no, that's McGill.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, every day.
And Michael Stevens came to hold the ball, make it a bit easier for Mitch Needham. 3 steps, slots it, and referee Connolly blows for half time with the score: Synostol 21, North Petherton 6. We'll take a short break and we'll be back pretty soon for the second half. Max Bullen, and 2 penalties, all converted of course by Matt Shepherd, and 2 penalties to North Petherton. They win at the restart, but Mitch Needham locks on. During the half-time break, I'll pull out a little bit and show you the skies got dark and the wind got windier, and the rain is coming down more heavily. I'm just hoping it doesn't affect the game too much. The pitch is in beautiful condition. A very big thanks to tribute to Titch Preston, of course. He's worked really hard on this, as he always does. I spoke to him earlier on, and all he could say was, "Oh, that bit's bad and that bit's bad." And to most of us, it looks fabulous. There's Boyer, and he pops it straight to a Petherton player. And he was looking for, I think it might have been Carl Marriott. There's Capitani Felipe, and the ball went forward, so bring him back for a scrum. Yeah. I'm not sure it's to do with the shirt sizes. We've got tight head Felipe is wearing 2, Sam Williams, who is hooking, is wearing 3, and Dan Morgan wearing 1. And they're all big shirts. Adam Conybeard put in. And once again, Petherton get the ball, the scrum going forward, but it's stolen there by CJ Boyce. He does really well to hold on to that. And his role's taken by Carl Marriott. There's Rob Jeffs, upended. Miles Davey taking route 1, which I think is probably his only route. There's Dan Jobe making the hard yards is there, and Carl Marriott does what he does so well. I don't ever recall Carl losing the ball or even missing a tackle. Mark Vyans met very firmly by Sam Williams there. There's Shep again. Manages. Shep once again making those yards, but mixing it with the big boys. CJ Boyce does a bit of jigging dancing, and instead goes to Miles Davey. He won't do any of that stuff. That's about 6-7 phases lost. We'll get the ball well. Shep feeds inside to. I think that's Rob Jeffs moved it wide. And Cav Boyer's got a chance to have a run, but he lost the ball as he went to ground. And you can see Danny Terrell is saying, "Come on, you should have given it to me." There's talking to Fred Woods, experienced referee, and he said the same as me that first half was characterised, I think it's fair to say, by lots of scrummages, from knock-ons in tackles and in passing of the ball. And I don't know how many scrums there were in the first half. I lost count, but it's continued. And that's partly conditions, of course it is. Score remains 21-6 to Synostol, and play resumed with the scrum there about 7 or 8 metres inside the North Petherton 22, with Adam Conybeard put in. That's a lovely tackle there, Cam Taylor, round the ankles, and in the process he must, I think he picked the ball up, Carl Marriott knocked it forward. You can see the palpable disappointment on Carl's face there, because he never does that. Jinxed. Adam Conybeard again, put in. And it looks like Miles Davies stolen that one against the head. Give Carl Marriott a chance to have a run, but he unlucky. He gave the ball straight to a charging Jake Ellis, I think it was. There's Michael Stevens coming in off his wing, looking for work, as he has done all afternoon. Hands in the ruck. Matt Shepard has a quick word with the referee, but it's not going to change his mind, is it? Perhaps just an explanation of what was wrong there. Mitch Needham makes yards. Moving around all over the place, this way and then that way. But I think very large, mostly it's flowing left to right as we look, so to the advantage of North Petherton. Needham feeds Stevens again. Couldn't keep his feet. That's a nice little chip ahead. Gives Danny Tyrrell a chance to show his wares, which he would always do. Beats 3 men. It's Dan Jobe to Andy Edge. There's Dan again. He's so hard to defend against. Quick hands, no hands. Unlucky, as you can see Max Bullen looking at Shep saying, come on guys. Max Shepherd puts his hand up, says, sorry Max, my fault. Thank you to Brendan Stevens for the bugle. Can't mistake him, can you? What a superstar. Taken really nicely there by Matt Taylor, or is it James Taylor? And Sam Williams holds it with Johnny Bear, hands on. I think his referee's indicating advantage. Yes, he is. Yeah. Held up.
Good on you, Mark!
Mark Vine pleased with his work there, he should be. Held on. Ball didn't come out, so Synostol will win. They'll be their scrummage. There's the front row of Brandon Hack, Miles Davey and Dan Jobe. And CJ Boyce will be looking to get this in and out quickly. And RGB looking to get the backs moving. Indeed he does. There's Bees. Quick hands to Ben Plummer. No, it wasn't Ben Plummer. It was Max Bullen came in from the wing, but he tackled and held on.
79. Just as he put his fucking whistle to the boat.
Jack Reese with his big left boot. Hits it hard down the field, doesn't find touch. And Danny Tyrrell keeps the ball in play, really well indeed. As far as Shepherd, he'll run, of course he will. And he's looking to go back to Danny Tyrrell, which he does. Danny Tyrrell's like a little jack in the box, he really is. He's so hard to stop when he's moving. Rob Jeff's knocking it on there. So the referee will bring him back for a scrum. And as long as my wife gives me permission, I'll be going, so you may watch that game as well, although we'll have to see if it's possible. Yeah, advantage to Petherton. Michael Stevens, who's played very well so far, been in everything. Chips ahead, the referee's bringing him back for a penalty. No advantage game. Yeah, and I'm just guessing that Mitch Needham will stick this down in the corner, use the advantage of the wind. Indeed he does.
Watch it on there, can you? You watch it on there.
Yeah. You can watch it in the club if you want. It's on the big TV.
It's a bit closer if you're looking for
Yeah.
misdemeanors.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it? As you can see there, down that end, Sam Williams to throw. There's Capitani Felipe. He's a difficult to stop. Great yardage there by the big prop. And back inside, and it looks to be like Mitch Needham. Oh, over the line, knocks on. So Cav Boyer's decided you can do it, so can we. Looking for support. He's got Danny Tyrrell outside, who steps the first man. Whoa, yeah. Unlucky there. Michael Stevens then dives on him. But Synostol still have the ball. In the shape of and it's been stolen by number 13. Who runs in untouched. That's Josh Frost for North Petherton's first try of the game. Loose pass. As you can see, he's delighted with that, is Josh Frost. Now, what that means, of course, is North Petherton have their first try. If it's converted, the score at the moment is 21-11. That moves the score to 21-13. That means they're only 8 points behind. So a penalty, converted try. So this makes the complexion of the game pretty quite different. When you bear in mind they also have the advantage of the wind in this second half. Mitch Needham's difficult kick that far out. He's going to try and add the 2. Takes his time. Swirling wind, wet conditions. He's hit it very well, and he's kicked it. Lovely conversion by Needham. And once again, North Petherton get the shove on in the scrummage is very effective. But Carl Marriott picks it up off his bootlaces and gives Ben Plummer a chance to make some hard yards. Skipper fine, but he's upended. Shepherd pops it back inside. Close support there by Carl Marriott once again. He gets man and ball. Okay, so in the shape of Sam Williams. And CJ Boyce decides, let's stick it down there. Let Dan have a run. And the referee's bringing them back. Because it could be that CJ Boyce was way ahead of the rest of us and knew that there was an advantage. Yeah, referee Conley is saying you didn't roll away, so Synostol will have a penalty. About 7 or 8 metres outside North Petherton's 22. And Shepherd looks both ways. I think he's going to use the wind and kick to the far corner for an attempt for a line out catch and drive. He might have overcooked it. Yep, he has. That means they'll bring them back. Easily done in these conditions. Matt just hit a bit too far. Probably a metre over the dead ball line. So it will be a scrum to North Petherton. About halfway between the 22 and the halfway line.
No, my brother.
Is that the best?
Adam Conybear put in. Picked up by number 8, James Taylor. Sorry, apologies. I'm sorry, I completely lost it because. Excuse me. Could you mind just a little bit? Sorry. It's all right, yeah. Thank you. Sorry, my mistake. It's all right. I couldn't see a thing. Apologies for that. Camera fell over. There's Max Bullen looking for support inside and out. He's got unlucky. Forward ball was just forward. Archibald couldn't take it. He'd have been in for that. I think he's lying on the floor there more through frustration than anything else, although he might have taken a bit of a knock. Looks like he might have been winded, which isn't too serious. He's a young fit lad, is Max. Yeah, he's okay. That's good news. Although, saying that, as we speak, Cab Boy is coming off and Connery Woodsey comes on as replacement into the centre, which means I think Matt Shepherd's dropping back to fullback. And there'll be a scrum just here for the knock-on. Yeah, Shep's gone back to fullback, so Ben Plummer and Connery Woodsey resume their normal position in the centre. Alan Connery had put in. Once again, that North Petherton scrummage is very solid. And Jack Rees takes it off his ankles and makes a good 30 yards with that left-footed clearance. As you can see from the score, it's 21-13. Bear in mind, last season, home and away, Synostol scored 40 points against Petherton. This is a different animal today, and Archie Bees can't take it cleanly. The referee waits advantage, nothing comes, so he's going to play a knock on. I think Connor Perkins has just come off to replace by Sam Villis. Hard to tell from this far out, but Connor Perkins certainly left the field. Mitch Deedon feeds it inside to Michael Stevens, who's tackled and holds on. You can see there that's Hector Bright's come on. I suspect he might be in place of Cam Taylor. Yes, it must be. Nice to see him. He'll add a bit of pace around the park. And Matt Shepherd clears. Just over midway through the second half I make it, and Arsenal failed to score in this half so far. 3 tries in the first half, and North Petherton have enjoyed his part in scoring a try, more in the way of territory and possession, which is why the scoreboard reflects that at 21-13. Miles David at throw. So far he's found violent on most occasions. That time the ball went not straight, and even though Andy Inch got there, referee brings it back for a scrum, which Petherton will be happy about because they've dominated that area of the game. There's Dan Morgan with that distinct hairstyle and beard. Very strong scrummager. Up against Brandon Hack, who's probably about 15 years younger. And on this side, Kyle Prescott playing tight head now. I have to say at this point, apologies if I get any of the North Petherton players' names wrong. They're not all wearing the numbers they are on the programme, and as I don't know them personally, they might be wrong on occasion. Right, here goes Matt Shepherd. He will run. That's Cam Taylor still on the pitch, who he knocked it backwards after the pass from Archie Bees. So Synostol retain the ball. Line goes to ground. Carl Marriott, who of course captained Cornwall to a successful county championship yet again at Twickenham late last season. Andy Inch can't hold on. He might just have hurt himself there, Andy. Let's hope he's okay. I think he's all right. There's Rob Daniels having a quick word, as indeed is skipper Mark Vine. And Hector Bright wearing 17. They've probably got back at Synostol for a while. Of course, another one came all through the mini junior section. Now a university student and is playing. And I assume he's going back. His dad, of course, played for the Saints. Slight delay, bit of a hold up, waiting for, it looks like Capitani Felipe is returning, and maybe he was just temporary replacement, but Carl Prescott seems to have gone off again, and Felipe has rejoined in tight head position up against Danjo. There they are, pair of them. As Matt Taylor picks up. Chases on, and Matt Shepherd has nobody with him, but he's having a look. I think he's looking to go. Yes, he is. He's beaten the first two, beaten three. He's looking to try and get the ball wide to Danny Tyrrell, but it comes free, and Petherton are away. Michael Stevens there with the ball. He scored their only try from a similar Synostol mistake. There's Miles Davey doing a defensive work. I'm not sure that's Matt Taylor or not wearing 8, because the chap supposed to be playing 8 is Matt Taylor, and you can see Carl Marriott, his hands on the ball, and the North Petherton number 8 held on. That gives Matt Shepherd a chance to relieve the pressure. Including Carl Marriott in the centre there. Jay Boyce feeds like straight to Ben Plummer. He has Connery Woodsy with him. He needed him. No look. And he's indicating that I think he wasn't bound long, and you can't do that. Truck and trailer perhaps. I'll have to consult with the referee about that one. Anyway, it gives Mitch Needham a chance to clear to touch, which he does.
He saw something there that nobody else did.
You okay back there? Okay, Sam Williams to throw. Just inside their own half. Taken very well by Matt Taylor, or was it James Taylor? Needham kicks wide. That may have carried in the wind. I think he did. So referee Fergus Conley is going to take them from right on the far side where the ball's kicked. And as you can see, the wind and the rain's got stronger. Clock there says about 10 minutes to go, and Synostol yet to score in this half. And with only an 8-point advantage, there's everything to play for. Ryan sort of suspended, takes the ball beautifully. Conway Woodsy has a chance to have a run. He'll take some stopping. Michael Stevens is there wrestling with him for the ball. Sorry about Jack Rees.
Come on, ref! Referee, come on!
You can see that one or two took exception.
Back off, boys!
Nothing serious. The referee will have a chat with the skippers, just say, come on guys. It's been great so far. And that's number 7, Matt Taylor, and of course Mark Vine. You don't need me to interpret what he's saying. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Fergus Conley, who's always calm. This is what you need in a referee. And as you can see, he's asked the skippers to talk to their players. Probably the one area of the game where North Petherton have really had the upper hand, been in the scrummaging. Even on Synostol's ball, they've struggled a bit to maintain. As again there, the ball is it's back foot ball. Archie Bees attempts to rescue it, as does Matt Shepherd. Lovely run by Andy Inch there. Two knock-ons, first by Carl Marriott in the tackle. I watched every game last season. I don't think I ever saw Carl Marriott knock a ball on. And today, because of the conditions, he's knocked it on twice. He was hanging his head in shame in the bar knowing him. The standards are so high. So there will be a scrum to North Petherton, about 5 metres inside their 22. The clock says 6 minutes remaining. That's up to the referee, of course. That's a really good scrummage by Synostol. That's the first time, really, they've had an edge there. Certainly in this half. It went through 90 degrees, so the referee says we're going to reset. Looks like Brandon Hack has come off, been replaced by Matt Boothby, who will go to the tie head side with Dan Joe playing loose head. There's Dan on the near side, of course. Back down behind him is Cam Taylor. That's a good scrummage by Synostol. Very good, very good. But they might even win a penalty. No, they won the ball. Picked up by Carl Marriott, who's helped out by Hector Bright, and Synostol looking to move it. Once again, Miles Davey takes route 1. CJ Boyce goes left and then right, and then I'll have a go himself, but he's still got the ball. Andy Inch makes another metre.
I had a season ticket. Well, I shared.
And there was where that's Matt Boothby, who's just come on. Makes the hard yards. Mark Ryan looking to get in. He puts the ball to Matt Shepherd, but it was pinched off him by Dan Morgan. So it was knock on first by Synostol. That will be a scrum.
Obviously now True, Synostol and Newton. I told him to stick with that. That's fine. Very good. Very good. He's doing very well. Very well. Very well.
Obviously, I'm in the same side as the stand, but it looks pretty full to me. My guess is that's a lovely drive by Synostol. And CJ Boyd says the ball at the back. Synostol looking to get over. Carl Marriott's controlling it. Close. And he gets it. Bonus point try to Synostol. Well deserved. Who else from that far out? As you can see, the congratulations all go to the Synostol front row. Dan Joe in particular did a cracking job there. And Matt Boothby just come on.
In the hospital 3 times.
I think to say with this stage of the game, that's probably enough for Synostol to win.
We were warned if it happened again, it would.
Scored 26-3 with the conversion to come from Matt Shepherd.
Okay,
And Andy Stevens is happy. And if he's happy, we're all happy.
to put his lashes over there.
Rubbish compared to yours, Andy.
One day.
I think you came of age in Canada.
I've told my
I went to the Hall
family
for
in the middle.
Cornwall once.
Yes, a referee you'd have to be. Right. Because you know the story about Colin Bay, do you? There was his chap on his deathbed, and he said to his wife, "You know, I've never had a hole in one." Well, at Colin Bay, the 18th hole is a par 3. So she got permission.
Matt Shepherd to add the extras.
To report into the 18th
With the clock showing 39 minutes in the second half. Ball's fallen over. He looks to referee Fergus Connolly and says, "Can I put it up again, please?" Which he does.
Not a true story.
He's kicked 3 penalties, so 3 conversions so far.
But it makes a good laugh.
It does. It does.
He adds a 4.
I thought for a moment they were never going to get this bonus point.
Well, I have to say, we've given away too many passes.
I've never seen it not
Matt has given away too many passes. He's used to having players beside him all the time.
So Mitch Needham restarts. He goes long. Andy Inch can't take it, but Miles Davey can. And there's Hector Bright. He would love nothing more than a bit of a gallop in some space. But instead, Petherton get a penalty, holding on. Well, the clock's in the red, the one on the board is, but that doesn't matter because it's the referee's decision. Here's Jack Rees, and he's going to think, yeah, he's putting it into the corner. Now, apologies for this, I can't see it very well, but so I'm going to lean over. There we go. So there's Sam Williams to throw in. Last chance saloon, I suspect. That's a good short ball. Taken at pace by number 7, Mac Taylor, skipper. And here's Capitani Felipe, who's had some really bullocking runs this afternoon. Mitch Needham goes back the other way. And once again, looking for that last pass. That was a one-handed take, I think, by Mark Vine, and the referee has no option but to show him a yellow card for a deliberate knock-on. So that would be a scrummage to North Petherton, about 10 metres out. It's a penalty, I beg your pardon. Apologies for this. As you can see, there's Mark Vine. Game is probably won, but Petherton playing for a consolation try. 28-13. 28-20 sounds much more respectable, does it not? Even though they can't get a bonus point unless they score again after that. Right, apologies for that, but I have no option if you want to see it. They've got a lovely roll on there, Petherton. But the ball's come away with Cab Boyer, who whoops it down the middle of the park, giving it straight to Michael Stevens, who knocks it on, I think.
Nobody wants it.
Yeah, he does. Fergus Connolly checks his watch.
Right spot.
As you can see, the rain's getting a bit heavier now.
Relatively young man at the time. And Les was probably the best conveyancer in the county.
Yeah.
Really?
Game characterised by
Very high.
lots of mistakes, both teams, handling errors. 4 tries to Synostol, 1 to North Petherton from a Synostol mistake. And late in the second half, for some peculiar reasons, Synostol scrummage started to function properly. And the advantage that North Petherton had in the first half has been largely neutered, as you can see there, just marching up the field. And I suspect very much that CJ Boyd, oh no, he knocked it on. Referee's having a look. No, knock on. North Petherton scrummage.
Has he moved out there? Yes. He came on the market. Do you? He went to your predecessor.
There's Matt Boothby up against Dan Morgan.
Do you realise there are plans to put a road through your field? I imagine Stevens has gone and told you about that, because I didn't actually. I knew Stevens. I imagine Stevens has gone and told you. No?
Probably last chance of an attack. Mitch Needham looks to kick and then holds on. And the ball's come wide. Lovely tackle by Cab Boyer there. Stopped it dead.
It was my fault, but he put on the market.
Matt Shepherd gets in the way. Petherton still have it. And Jack Rees goes right and then left, and then is poleaxed by Ben Plummer.
Across the road and up through.
And to not to turn it over. There's Cam Taylor looking to have a run.
Your field and go up the hill.
It's obviously not over yet because the referee would have told him.
He said,
There you go. Dan Terrell has the last touch. Kicks it into touch, which means that the final score of the first game of the season is Synostol 28, North Petherton 13. Early try to, I think it was Cam Taylor, not certain, followed by Matt Shepherd, Max Bullen, and a second half effort from that man there, skipper Carl Marriott. So thank you very much for joining. I hope you've enjoyed it from wherever you've been watching. And if you want to watch next week, I'm hoping very much to be up there at Sherborne in Dorset for the second game of the season. Final score, Synostol 28, North Petherton 13.